Hey, welcome everybody. Glad you're here. My name's Debbie Z. Lattuga. We're going to get started in just a minute. We're letting people pour in. So glad you took this time to spend this time with me. We're going to have a lot of fun. This is going to be interactive. This is going to be participatory. If at all possible, I see everybody's on dark screen. I love to see people's faces. I would love it if you had the courage to come off dark screen so that we could all talk like people and see each other and interact. It'd be super cool. And yet, if you're driving or it's not safe, I totally get it. There's no judgment. If you're not in a position where you're able to do that, totally get it. It's just more fun for me if I can feel like I'm talking to people instead of talking to little boxes. So welcome, welcome, welcome. We are happy you are here. Let me just share my screen real quick. Let some people in. Okay, share screen. There we go. So today we are going to talk about a day in a life of the realtor, and you're in the best profession, I believe, on the planet. It's got unlimited income. It's got freedom and potential. And I'm certain that's probably why you all decided to get into real estate. Do me a favor. This is interactive. Would you open up the chat real quick and just post the city and state that you're in? I'm in Sarasota, Florida. I know we got people from Texas and Florida here. If you just let me know, that'd be fabulous. And we got Weatherford, Texas. Awesome. We got Spring Branch, Texas. Fantastic. Austin, my second favorite town to Sarasota, Austin, Texas. St. Pete. Oh, you're just right up the road, Lake City. Awesome. Yeah. Welcome, everybody. We're so glad you're here. Let's go ahead and get started. Missouri City. I don't know where that is. I don't know whether that's in Texas or in Florida. Pretty sure it's not in Missouri, but maybe it is, because some of you are registered to take licensing exams, not in the state that you live in, right? So Missouri City, is very possible, Rashida, that you are in Missouri, because there are people definitely taking the exam from out of state. So let's go ahead. I think the majority of people that are going to be here have arrived. Let's get started. And I first want to share what my goals are for this. You know, I want this to be valuable to you. I want you to walk away from this experience and say, wow, I really learned a lot. And I'm glad I attended, and I've got so much more information to help me move forward and be successful in real estate. We're going to talk about a day in a life in a realtor. And I chunked that into some different categories that what I know realtors need to focus on every day or every week in their business. We're going to talk a little bit about some sales and marketing. We're going to talk a little bit about your professional development. In other words, how do you grow into being a successful agent? How do you start without really knowing what you're doing, and then go out there confidently to be able to meet with buyers and meet with sellers? And then how do you learn all the things? Because we all know the real estate licensing course taught you to pass the exam. It didn't really teach you how to be a successful real estate agent. So I think we're going to share some insight tonight that's going to help give you at least a foundation of the things that you're going to want to be able to learn and grow into so that you can be really successful in real estate. So sales and marketing, professional development, support. As a new agent, support is really important. So how to set yourself up success and make sure that you get the support that you need. We're going to talk a little bit about how to choose the right brokerage. And although I'm a real estate coach, I'm also actively licensed as an agent. I don't really sell anything. I am currently licensed with EXP. And if you'll indulge me after I share some value with you, share a little bit about EXP with just some info, just the goal of exposing you to what we might have to offer. And if it looks like a fit, maybe we can set up an appointment to talk more about it later. And I want to make sure that I answer any questions that you might have. A little bit about me. My name, as I said, is Debbie Z. Lattuga. I'm currently a real estate agent and team coach. I coach big real estate teams and real estate agents. I've been doing that for about 15 years in the real estate business. I've been an agent for over 25 years. I don't want to tell you how many years because then you'll know, but a long time, more than 25 years. I've been a broker owner of my own small brokerage for a number of years. I've also run a big franchise. I was the CEO of a big franchise for 5 years and ran that office for 5 years. I've coached thousands of agents in my real estate career. And Success Magazine nominated me in 2022 to the top 125 coaches, influencers, and trainers in real estate. What a great honor to be nominated and then to win the top 125. And I'm a partner in Agent Growth Institute. You saw the little logo when we started, AGI. I formed that about 5 years ago with a business partner, which we'll talk about in just a minute. And in that company, we coach and we train agents. That's our main focus. So a little bit about my team. My business partner, Curtis Tyree, co-founder of Agent Growth Institute, definitely better looking and smart and talented, and I'm lucky to have him as a partner. And then we have some additional coaches, Claire Autry, Tom Martin, and DJ Throgmorton are also a part of Agent Growth Institute. So real quick, I wanted to share a poll with you, and it should show up on your screen. And what attracted you to real estate? Now, your answer might not be here, but click the box. And if I could click the box on why you were attracted to real estate. These are the common themes that I heard from agents that I interviewed when I was hiring agents. And if your exact one isn't there, you can either not answer it or you can pick one that most closely aligns. So we've got 12 people answered so far. 13. Thanks for participating. This is so much fun. So the winner, actually, it's going back and forth. Flexibility in work hours is leading with 36%. Oop, opportunity for high earnings is tied for the most popular. Then the next two that are tied are helping clients find their dream home. And then I love sales. I love sales. I love sales. You're my people. I love sales too. So awesome. So, opportunity for higher earnings just took the lead. So you're all in the right place because real estate can do all of those things. Flexibility in your work hours, opportunity for high earnings, helping clients find their dream home. And if you love sales, now here's the beauty. If you don't like sales, real estate's perfect for you too, because the way the sales happen in this industry is easy for anyone, no matter their sales ability. So let's talk about the three main things that I wanted to cover with you tonight: sales and marketing, professional development, and connection support. And I'm going to share with you how this shows up in the day of a life of a realtor. Under sales and marketing, we have lead generation. That is job numero uno. Is you've got to figure out where you're going to get your business from. And then a real close second is lead follow-up, because it's not uncommon for agents to be out to dinner, overhear someone at the next table that is thinking of buying or selling their home, reaching out to that person, getting some contact information. You really want to have a system for following up with people that you run into. Open houses, you might have 15, 20 people sign in. You want to be able to be strong in your lead follow-up. And then marketing, right? In order to generate more business, not only are we lead generating, but we're also marketing. And then under professional development, we have training. And as a new agent, that can seem like a big mountain, and yet it really is systemized if you choose the right brokerage. So what is it that you need to learn to be successful as a real estate agent? My experience in real estate is the most successful agents are always looking to find more training in areas where they might be deficient. There's definitely a place for technology, websites, and database management. So you're definitely going to want to make sure that you have the technology that you're going to need to be successful. And then skill development. So skill development is learning how to talk to people where you get more business, learning how to do a buyer presentation or a listing consultation, learning what to say if a seller says, I don't want to list it for that reasonable price. I want to list it much higher. So there's a lot of skill that can be developed as a real estate agent. The good news is you all are bringing enough skill to the table to be successful today from the beginning. The beauty is, as you improve your skill, you work less hard because you're better at what you do. So you talk to less people and you get more leads. And then the third part, and I don't hear a lot of people talking about this, and it's what I believe to be the critical component to success in real estate. And that is your connection and support, especially as a new agent, and that looks like mentorship or masterminds and collaboration. And that's a critical piece that predicts your success. Because I hear agents, especially new agents, all the time saying, I don't know what to do next. And if you don't have a place to go to find that solution, it can be really an uphill battle. So let's jump into a quick quote about real estate. And this is based on what I hear from agents about why they got into real estate. Now, the quick answer they give is that I like houses and I like people. And that's noble, right? So getting into real estate because you want to help people is beautiful. It's one of the best reasons to get into the business. However, Sean Moudry is a 27-year real estate veteran. He's recruited over 115 agents, and he's featured in Realtor magazine in the 30 under 30. I believe that was quite some years ago because he's been in the business so long, but very talented real estate agent and leader. And he says good intentions and a desire to help people alone will at best lead you to a mediocre career in real estate. And that's because of all the things that I mentioned, right? The foundation. Wanting to help people is a good start. And then the things that I talked about, sales and marketing and collaboration and professional development, are critical to your success. So let's jump into sales and marketing. So the first thing I want to talk about is lead generation. And lead generation shows up for a real estate agent daily. It shows up daily. We are always looking for business. There's a quote in real estate that says, every morning we wake up unemployed unless we find someone that wants to hire us. So we don't become employed until someone hires us. So lead generation, and here are some different ways that you can lead generate. Your sphere of influence, those would be the people in your phone. Open houses. Networking, meaning, do you have interest? Are you a hobbyist? Do you like to garden? Do you like to hunt? Do you like to fish? Do you like to ride motorcycles? So are you part of a group where you might be able to be interactive with people that you could generate business from? Door knocking, cold calling, for sale by owners and expireds, events, internet leads. That's one paid option. There are quite a few paid options if you're looking for leads. And then referral agents that are in other markets. For instance, if you're in Dallas, Texas, or Miami, two huge cities, you might live in the east side of Dallas, and it might take you an hour or more to get to the west side, depending on traffic, or the east side of Miami and the west side of Miami, more money on the east side. And so you might look for referral partners that you could refer business to and get paid a referral fee in markets that are slightly outside or even completely out of the area. So the beauty is, as far as lead generation, everything works. I know multi-million-dollar producers in each one of these categories. Your job is going to figure out which categories are the right ones for you. Now, lead generation for the day in the life of a realtor, let's call her Betty. Betty would start her day, and one of the first focuses she would be doing would be looking for business for the day. And she might spend an hour or even 2 hours every day looking for business, right? So she's going to be looking for lead generation. Now, maybe it's on the phone, maybe it's in person, and maybe you're buying leads. So you're just responding to the leads that are showing up. The second part of that Betty should be doing every day is lead follow-up, right? Because lead follow-up means you had 15 people at your open house on Saturday. Now it's Monday. You're going to want to reach out to all those people and you want to connect with them again and get a clear picture of their real estate needs. And so it's going to be important for you to implement a CRM. And a CRM is a piece of technology, customer relationship management tool that helps keep you organized, who your leads are, when you're supposed to follow up with them. And then the most important thing about lead follow-up is that you have to schedule it. It has to be on your calendar every day, because lead generation and lead follow-up is how you're going to make your money. And then the third part of sales and marketing is the marketing segment. And there's lots of different ways that you'll market. You probably will not be doing marketing every day. So Betty might have an open house on Sunday, and on Wednesday, she decides to run a social media ad. She prints out flyers. Maybe she goes and hands those flyers out to the neighbors. So that would be the marketing part of her week. Doesn't have to be every day, but it probably will be weekly. She may have a specific farm. So a farm would be a neighborhood that you want to target, that you intend to get leads from. Many new agents start with a farm, which is their neighborhood. In other words, who lives in their neighborhood? They probably already know a handful of people there. And yet there may be some marketing like postcards or creating a community barbecue that will get you into better relationship with the people in your farm. You might need to market for your open houses. You'll definitely need to market for your listings. So you might want to run some social media ads. You might want to send out some postcards like just listed or just sold to the area where your house is listed. And certainly we all know about social media, lots of different opportunities to market there. And you might have some print marketing. You might have a newsletter that you actually print and mail out. So where the lead generation and follow-up would be daily, your marketing would probably be weekly, but it would be ongoing and it would be consistent. So real quick, either post in the chat or you can raise your hand and come off mute. What are your takeaways from the sales and marketing slide that I just shared? Come on, don't leave me hanging here. Follow-up is very important. I'm going to actually share an insider secret about real estate. Many agents struggle with follow-up. So they get their open house people. They don't add them to their CRM. They might call 2 or 3 of them. They may not follow up with all of them. And this is a business. For those of you who said you love sales, you know, follow-up is actually the key. I could go out to the mall today and I could ask every single person I met, do you want to buy or sell real estate? I'm very unlikely to find someone that says, I want to follow real estate today. I want to buy or sell real estate today. More than likely, what we're going to find is people who says, oh, I'm thinking of selling in the spring. So you need a way to collect that data, keep it organized, and set reminders so that when you enter them in your CRM, you set a reminder, call Bob and Mary in 2 weeks. You met them at the mall and they told you they wanted to sell in the spring. Get some more information about the house they want. And you set that as a reminder in your technology. You don't have to think about Bob and Mary anymore, because you know that morning you're going to open up your CRM and it's going to say, call Bob and Mary. And you're like, Bob and Mary. Oh, I met them at the mall. They said they were selling in the spring. Call and ask them a little bit about where they're going to go and what they're thinking about their house. Ask them a little bit more about the house. It's all in there. So I don't have to keep that in my memory. So I'm going to just scroll up here. Thank you for everyone that posted. I really appreciate it. Marketing is very important. Thank you. Curtis said ditto. Jamie said the quote about being unemployed every day until you work is powerful. Yeah, love that. Erin said, you're going to get a lot of no's, but do not let it discourage you. There's a book real quick. You might want to write this down. It's called Go for No. So instead of when you're lead generating, counting how many conversations you had or how many yeses, because if the first person you call says yes, the average realtor is not making any more calls. That's it. We're done. And then, however, if you go for no, then you're going to make a couple of more calls and you might find another lead. But I realized I left a story dangling. Very successful agents struggle with follow-up. So a key for you as a new agent is to develop good habits and start tracking your leads so that you can follow up them in a CRM as soon as possible. Now, your CRM may have multiple bells and whistles. You don't need to pay attention to any of that other than lead input and scheduling the follow-up task. Lead input and scheduling the follow-up task. Your CRM with the bells and whistles, you can figure out how to use all those later. But if you do that, every time you speak to someone, you update your CRM and then you set a follow-up task reminder, you'll be golden. You'll be ahead of the game. You're going to get a lot of no's. What if a potential customer like a buyer tells you you're already working with a realtor? I can address a handful of these questions. That's a really great question. And I don't know if it's Karen. That's a really great question. And I'll address that. If we have time at the end, we'll save some of those specific scenario questions, but real quickly, yeah, that's a really tricky one. It's tricky because we have an ethical obligation to not interfere with another agent's business. However, there are skills and scripts that you can learn that teaches you how to navigate that system. There's some technicalities that if they don't have a signed agreement with that realtor, but here's the thing, you never want to be known as a realtor in your town as the realtor that goes in and tries to steal other clients. The best advice is to say, if you're ever unhappy with that realtor, I'd love to be your backup realtor for life. If you're ever unhappy with that realtor, I'd love to be your backup realtor for life, right? And because we have to work with every agent that's in the marketplace, and there are definitely some snakes out there that will do that to your buyers unethically. We just always want to be above that. So what's the best CRM, Michael? The one that you use. They all work. They all have the ability to input leads and set follow-up reminders. They all have a different bells and whistles. And what I generally find is most agents don't use them at a high level. So every CRM will work if you use it, right? And as your career matures and you get into a multi-million-dollar producer, that's when you go in and really do analysis of CRMs to find the ones that are going to fit you. But any of the ones that you choose at the beginning will all work perfectly fine. Put good notes in the CRM. I love that, Aaron. Karen says, thank you. That's a great reply. I got millions of them. In my circle, they call me the script queen. I don't know what it is about being able to just be able to speak off the cuff and have powerful answers, but I've been teaching it and studying it for years. So that might be part of why I'm pretty good at scripts. So let's jump back into the portion here. So the next section in the day in the life of a realtor is your professional development. And in the beginning, the left-hand column is going to be the biggest mountain, although you will have to tackle the other two as well. And that is training. You're going to have to learn how to do contracts. You're going to have to learn how to have conversations with your buyers and sellers. However, I'm going to just tell you right now, you have all the tools you need in order to be able to work with the buyer seller, because all of you are adults and you bring your real life experience to this business. And all you have to do is offer to help people. And if they have a question, you don't know what the answer is, say, you know what, I'm not sure, but I have a strong network of collaborators, other realtors, and I can reach out to them and I can get back to you. So you all have what it takes already to work with buyers and sellers today. Now, will your skill development? For sure, but you can do it right now, provided you have the right support around you. You need to learn how to do a listing presentation. You need to learn how to do a buyer presentation. Good news is, you can have it printed out in front of you. And when you meet with a buyer or seller, you could say, you know, I have a series of questions I want to ask you. And I have them written out here because I want to make sure that I really understand what's important to you. So it is okay if I go through my checklist. So there you have your listing presentation, your buyer consultation right in front of you, and you ask permission to read it, right? And negotiation, right? So those in the training department. And then in the technology department, you will need a CRM. Some brokerages provide you with the CRM, some brokerages don't, and you have to go out and buy them. You need a website, same thing. Some brokerages provide them, sometimes you have to go out and buy them. Social media, many of you are on social media, many of you hate social media, but I want you to think of social media as a tool to help you find buyers and sellers and communicate your value proposition to the people you have relationships with. You can still hate it, but it's a tool to help you be successful. Lead generation tools. There are an awful lot of tools out there that help you generate leads. There are dialers that if you're calling everybody in your phone and you want to be more efficient, you can use dialers. There's other kinds of online advertising tools that you can use, and you're going to have to decide whether you want that to be part of your business when you launch. And then contract management and e-sign. Every single brokerage does transactions digitally. I'm not saying we never have a signature on a piece of paper. They call that a wet signature, but 99% of the time you're going to use an e-sign and an e-document management system, right? So that's technology that you'll have to either learn, get from your broker, get from your MLS, but you will have to learn to be able to use that. And then the third part of professional development is skill development. And you're going to want to develop market knowledge. You want to learn how to do a great open house. You want to learn and practice your listing and buyer presentations. I say the language of sales. There is absolutely a language that if you use is more powerful to help people make decisions. And we call that language of sales. Not about convincing somebody to do something that they don't want to do. It's about using language in a way to help your buyers and sellers make decisions, right? And so you're going to want to learn that skill. And then obviously the skill of running a business. That is a skill that we start on day one. And every time we grow, we expand our knowledge, because when our business gets bigger, we learn to run it differently. Now, how does this show up in the day of a life of a realtor? Well, the training when you launch your real estate business is going to be big, right? Now, some brokerages have 2 weeks training, and it usually really is how to do a contract, but not much training on how to be a successful realtor. And other brokerages have live classes. Other brokerages have on-demand classes, and there is stuff in the marketplace, right? There are coaches and trainers out there that teach people how to sell real estate, right? So you're going to get training one way or another. So that is going to be probably daily. If your brokerage does that, that would be daily, because what you really want to do is accelerate your training as quickly as possible so that you can get to some moderate proficiency very quickly. Technology, because there are so many different pieces of technology, there's a learning curve in learning how to use that stuff. So again, the first 30 to 60 to 90 days is going to be heavy in this section. Skill development, rest of your career. Rest of your career, you'll be working on skills. I still meet with other coaches and other top trainers. I meet with them monthly to keep my skill sharp, right? Curtis and I practice presenting all the time so that our skills stay sharp. So skill development will be ongoing. You'll have, again, more concentrated in the very beginning. You'll spend more time in the training early on. The skill development will show up and you will master definitely over time. So what did you hear? What did you learn from that section on professional development? You can just post it in the chat real quick. And we will leave time for questions at the end. Role play your listing presentation. I know multi-million-dollar producers that still role play their listing presentation just to stay sharp on overcoming objections and things like that. Lots of training. There is lots of training. I know some agents that don't do much of it all, and it takes them a really long time to be really successful in real estate. So recognizing in the beginning, you're going to be training heavy. I'm thinking after 90 days, you're probably scaling back on that and you're not doing it. Instead of every day, you may be doing it several times a week. And of course, it depends. You might, if you are dual career, meaning you have a full-time job or a part-time job, you may have to figure out the pieces. Here's the thing I want you to get in your head. You can sell real estate on day one. Just make sure you have support around you that will help you navigate your first transaction. Don't wait until you're ready to sell real estate. Start day one. Start looking for business, but also starts day one getting mentors and support around you so that you have people to call that you know when they see your name on the phone, they're going to answer because they're going to think you have a question and they're going to want to help. So you need ongoing training to hold your skills. Knowing that there'll be a lot of training is encouraging. One of the scariest things. Yes, there is a lot of training. You got to pick the right brokerage. When I was running the big franchise, there were brokerages out there that said, we have lots of training. And it was 2 weeks and it was how to write a contract. That's not training. So if you're speaking with a broker and then they say, we have lots of training, I want you to say, describe it to me. Show me your calendar. How often is it? What if I can't make it? How do I make up that time? Right. So there is a lot of training. There's lots of brokerages that have lots of training. Some are on demand, some are live or in person. And then there's lots of brokerages that I would say has average training. They may have more mentors in their brokerage where they don't have a lot of training, but they have people available to you that can answer your questions. Scariest thing is starting a career is thinking you're going to end up with imposter syndrome. I'm gonna let you know something, Jamie. Every time you grow to the next level, you're gonna feel like an imposter. Like, for instance, you start your real estate career, you feel like an imposter. You get good at that, but you get really busy and you want to hire an admin. When you hire that admin, you're gonna think, I've never had to hire someone before, and now I'm gonna be responsible. I don't feel like I can do this. So don't fear the imposter syndrome. Recognize that if you have it, it's a sign of growth and it's actually a good thing. And action gets rid of imposter syndrome. So by you moving forward in spite of being nervous, that is what builds your confidence. Karen says, I need to pick the right brokerage. Listen, job number one, predictor of your success. All these other things, training, technology, skill development. The number one predictor is having the right brokerage for you and having the right brokerage that's going to support you in the way that you need it. I can't tell you the number of people that I've seen choose a brokerage that says we have great training and we have great people. And then they get there and the training is relatively non-existent. The people there, you all know this in sales can be toxic. There are brokerages out there where the people are toxic and they are not what I call pull open the kimono and say, how can I help you? I will share with you everything I know to help you be successful. That's the kind of environment that you definitely want to be in. Always take the opportunity to learn and keep learning. That's a great perspective. Will brokers be willing to train and mentor agents that want to work part-time? Some will, some won't. You'll walk into some and they'll say, are you available full-time? And you say, no, I'm transitioning. They say, we only work with full-time agents. Say, awesome, I'm going to find a brokerage that does. But there are absolutely brokerages out there and mentors out there that can help you with what I call a transition plan. I have transition plans on my computer on how to be very successful in the time that you have and the plan for actually transition. Can you guide us with the right questions to ask? Listen, you're going to realize by the end of this and when we those 9 foundational things that we talked about, those are the questions that you want to start asking a brokerage. But we're going to talk about that when I do the summary of this section. All righty, let's jump back in, share my screen. All righty, so let's move into the last part of the foundation, which is connection and support. This, as I said, most critical part to success in your real estate business is working with a group of people where you get these things. Now, the best place is to get it at your brokerage. But if your brokerage doesn't have it, you're the business owner, you got to go out and figure out how you can create this bubble around you. So mentorship, masterminds, and collaboration. Mentorship, a mentor is exactly what it sounds. It's somebody that you can reach out to when you're writing your first contract and get support on what to put on line 237 or how to fill out that section. Now, you probably will have attended the contracts class already. So you'll have a foundation, but you'll probably need support when you write your first couple of contracts. A coach can do the same thing, but a coach doesn't really teach or train. A coach helps you stay accountable to your goals, but you may be able to find a coach that's more of a trainer. And if you can't find either of those, it would be peer accountability. And that might be someone that's at your brokerage or another real estate agent friend that you have that lives in your area that you say, hey, if I have questions, can I reach out to you and will you help me? Right? So mentorship is really important. Along with that is mastermind. So masterminds is where you get together with a group of agents and you share ideas, you share challenges, and you share solutions. Your brokerage may offer masterminds either locally or nationally. Think of national conventions as a big mastermind, or they might have local where if it's part of a franchise, maybe multiple franchises get together, or maybe the brokerage has a Friday mastermind where agents can come and share their successes and share their challenges and get support. There's also national and local organizations, the National Association of Realtors and your state association of realtors all organize masterminds at times. So would, for instance, your local multiple listing service probably organizes masterminds, right? So there's lots of different places that you can find masterminds. And if you can't find a group of people that want to help and share, then you might be left to organizing your own. But it's a critical component and it will accelerate your success. And then the third one is collaboration. So collaboration, the first one is vendor partners. So vendor partners are people that help you do your real estate business. So think a mortgage broker, a title company, a title attorney, if you have attorneys in your state, a home inspector, a photographer, a stager. And so as you're launching your real estate career, you're going to want to start to build some of these relationships. And your brokerage will definitely have recommendations of people that they've worked with that they can recommend. But it's still up to you to build that relationship, to talk to a handful of mortgage brokers and see if you like their vibe and you like their responsiveness to your questions. Agents at your brokerage, you want to be purposeful about building relationships with people you work with. You don't have to build it with everyone, but you definitely want to build relationships with the people you work with because of the mastermind possibility, right? You want to have more than one person to call if you have a question. In case that first person doesn't answer the phone, you want to be able to call someone else. But it's your responsibility to go and build those relationships. Introduce yourself, set up one-on-one meetings, call people up and ask them how they're doing. Tell them you're a new agent. You'd love to be able to include them in their phone, right? Agents at other brokerages, because you're going to be doing transactions with other people. So it's beneficial to build relationships with agents at other brokers. So if your MLS offers mixers, go and meet other people, talk to them, ask them questions, look for ones that are like-minded, that want to help and share and build your own sort of group. And then, of course, referral agent partners, so that you have someone. Many of us are transplants for somewhere else. So you want to have referral partners where you used to live, because you might be talking to your friend who lives in a different state and they might want to buy or sell real estate or know someone. Wouldn't it be nice to be able to get a referral fee for being able to help them find a great agent? So real quickly, from the connection and support, share a couple of thoughts in the chat. Networking is important. Yeah, it's an ongoing thing. The bigger your network, the more money you make, whether it's with agents, whether it's with people. The bigger your network, the more money you make. Referrals. Woo! Here's why I like referrals. Doing no work and getting paid anyway, other than making a couple of calls to find an agent to refer them to. And you get paid. Anything else that stood out to you in the connection and support? You are the representation of your ABM. That's going to be my new thing. Always be marketing. I had a great mentor one time say to me that if your mouth is moving, you should be trying to figure out how to talk about real estate. If your mouth is moving, try to whoever, wherever. And you don't have to say, hi, do you want to buy or sell? You can just say, wow, I'm so excited about this new career. I've met some amazing people already. I'm so excited to get started. I can't wait to help people. You just talked about real estate without asking for business. You talked about real estate. And someone says, oh my gosh, I'm thinking about selling my house next year. Fantastic. Write it down, go home, put it in your CRM, set a reminder to follow up with them, and you're off to the races. Yeah, ABM, always be marketing. I love that. So let's just do a recap, because you asked, how do you have questions for your brokerage? So share screen, share. And I'm just recapping what we talked about. So, the question might be, how do you help me with lead generation? How do you help me with lead follow-up? How do you help me with marketing? Tell me what your training calendar looks like. Is it on demand? Is it live? Like, what does it look like? How long does it last? Is it mandatory? Do I have to pay for it? Technology. What sort of technology do you provide? Do you provide a CRM? Do you provide e-signature? Do I have to pay extra for that? Because sometimes when you meet with a broker, they'll say, well, here's what it costs to join us, but they neglect to tell you that some of this technology might be an extra fee. So what do I pay for? What is included? What is extra? How do you help me with skill development? How do you help me with mentorship? Do you have any masterminds that you facilitate or you participate in that I would be able to participate in? And then collaboration. Do you have vendors that you work with, like mortgage and title, that you recommend? And, how do I get a hold of that information? Do you have weekly sales meetings? Can I observe one? Because sometimes the people in brokerages are just not open, right? They're not open. I believe that I can share everything I know with you, even if you're in my market, and that's going to make you better, but it does not take anything off of my plate. So I share all the secrets because why not? My passion is really helping people move forward. So let's talk about a successful launch of a real estate career. Step number 1, choose your brokerage. Step number 2, you got to pass your test. You notice I put choose your brokerage first and then pass your test? They kind of happen simultaneously. But I talk to agents all the time. They say, well, I can't talk about choosing my brokerage until I pass my test. Yes, you can. You can start to eliminate people that aren't the right fit for you. It's not like you're signing up today, although for many of them, you can sign up right away. So you want to do your research. To pass your test, the only recommendation is to study, study, study. You're going to onboard. There's going to be an onboarding period where you set goals. You learn your brokerage benefits. You get your business cards and signs. You launch your website. You activate your CRM. And then you start training. You connect with their training schedule, and you connect to a mentor, and you find masterminds, and you build your collaboration. And then you start having consistent real estate conversations. You do your first open house, you write your first contract, and in theory, you close your first sale. So does anybody have any questions about this? Is the meat and potatoes of the day in the life of Realtor. And then I want to move on to just a brief discussion of the benefits of eXp Realty. Did anybody have any questions about what we covered so far? Awesome. I'm going to jump right in. So I don't know if you know much about eXp Realty. eXp is a virtual company. There are no brokerages. There's no brick and mortar. There's no stores. It's virtual. So there is no office to go into. It's cloud-based. That's what we mean by cloud-based. Everything, all the training, all the support, all the technology is digital, and it's online. It's in the cloud. The beautiful thing about not having a brick and mortar business is there's no desk fees. There's no royalty fees to franchises. You can work from anywhere because all you have to be able to do is have an internet connection, and you can get connected with your peers and your training and your e-sign and your masterminds. It's all at your fingertips. And for those that are dual career, it's on demand. You get to consume training at your convenience, not the convenience of the brokerage. And there's real-time support that's live 24/7. You can get support all the time. We have coaching and training. We have live and on-demand training from anywhere. And we have a success coaching division. And we have very powerful compensation, competitive commission. We have some additional ways that you can make money through revenue sharing and stock equity plans. Just a little bit about the background. We are the fastest growing residential real estate brokerage on the planet. We launched in 2017. The last bar here is the Q3 of 2022. We're up over 90,000 agents. And the reason we're the fastest growing is because agents are recognizing it's the best model that's out there. We are the #1 growth leader for agent count, which means we're growing faster than anyone else. Our volume of transactions is growing faster than anyone else, and our transactions are growing faster than anyone else. And you may have heard of eXp World. That is our virtual world where you get a little avatar and you can walk around in this virtual place. You can go get on-demand training by going into the world, walking to the virtual classroom where that training is being held, both live and on demand. You have real-time access to support. You can virtually walk to the technology desk and say, hey, can I get help with my website? And you're talking to a real person, but you're looking at the virtual avatar. I'm going to talk about the commissions, Gigi, in just a minute. There's no desk fees or overhead cost and no expensive lease that your brokerage has to pay, so that your costs are very minimal. We have a non-compete clause in the work contract. No, we do not. We do not. Why would we want to keep you at a place that isn't the right fit for you? No non-compete. Christiana Pio says one thing surprised her was how much she loved eXp World. It's silly but true. To be able to get teleported in front of anyone you need to talk to and get the answers to your questions instantly is not something you can get anywhere else. Just a quick snapshot of the countries that we're located, 24 international markets. You can build your team across borders. You can host and participate daily online gatherings. So we have the ability to host daily gatherings virtually, and you can benefit from a powerful referral network. Elizabeth Riley says, we're innovative, we're agile, and we're always one step ahead of embracing opportunities in the real estate market that has no equal. Do the sales agents have to pay for all the tools? Photography, assistance with contract writing. Photography and that kind of stuff is every agent. No brokerage pays for photography. Many of the tools that are necessary for your business are included in the fees at eXp, and I will talk about that in just a second. Assistance with contract writing. There is mentorship requirements for brand new agents. That's a referral fee, very tiny referral fee from your first 3 transactions. So there's not a direct check that you're writing, but there's an inadvertent check because you pay a 10% referral fee for a mentor for 3 transactions. There's a lot of different ways that eXp helps you be successful. What I want to highlight here is we have lead generation platforms, technology platforms that are free and paid inside your technology tools. We help you integrate listings with your website, and we have in-house lead generation programs. As far as marketing goes, we have 5,000 customizable listing templates available on demand. We have digital and print assets like listing presentations, buyer consultations, and we have flexible branding so that you can brand that material to you. Chaston Miles says, we learn so much outside of simply selling homes, whether it's coaching, training, teaching, or helping others. There's different lanes for revenue, and the opportunity to become a leader and impact lives with the real estate community is phenomenal. So eXp University, 80+ weekly live classes are taught, plus the whole on-demand library that's available 24/7 at eXp University. We have mentorship, whether you're brand new or starting something new. You get paired with an experienced eXp agent who can share insights and learnings and feedback in the spirit of collaboration. We have masterminds and task forces. You can volunteer to join in with online masterminds where you can get additional support. And if you're interested in a particular niche, there are task forces at eXp that you can join and develop your leadership skill. And we have state broker teams that there's 9 in Florida. There's probably that many in Texas. And you can get instant answers to any questions you might need from a brokerage. So we help you build your future at eXp. So let's talk about the money. That's what you all want to know. So here's what our split looks like. It's 80-20, but there's a cap. When you have contributed $16,000 from your 20% portion yearly, you are capped and you no longer pay any split to the company. So that's a yearly cap that rolls over every year. If you don't hit the cap, then your split is 80-20. After you hit the cap, you get 100% commission for the remainder of the year. The startup cost, $149 startup fee, $85 a month, and that includes all your tools and technology, your website, your CRM, your e-sign. It includes all of that. There is a $25 per transaction review fee and a $40 per transaction risk management fee. That's it. That's all of it. However, there's some additional opportunities to earn additional streams of income. So we can earn equity. So EXP is a publicly traded stock. It trades under the stock symbol EXPI on the NASDAQ. And your first transaction will earn you $200 in EXP stock at whatever the current stock price is. When you cap, you'll earn an additional $400 of EXP stock, whatever the price that is currently trading. Now, we also incentivize agents for attracting other agents to EXP. And if you attract another agent, maybe someone that's in your real estate class, you will get a $400 award of stock equity when that agent closes their first transaction. So there's equity awards. There's also an equity commission program. You can voluntarily enroll to receive 5% of your commission in stock at a 10% discount when you close a transaction. So you can get a 10% discount. You just check a box and 5% of every closing will buy EXP stock. 65% of agents and brokers participate in that program. And we also have an icon award. So top agents can receive up to $16,000. Recognize that that's the cap in stock upon the achievement of certain production levels and participating in leadership events at EXP. So it's about 20 transactions if you take the average sales price, or I think it's 3.6 in commissions, could be off on that. And you are an icon and you get your cap back in stock awards. So there's also healthcare. Not going to cover the slide. Real estate agents don't get healthcare because we're independent contractors. According to NAR, 28 to 33% of realtors are uninsured every year. EXP has connected with healthcare options so that you have an opportunity to buy your healthcare at a group or discounted rate, just something that isn't available at most brokerages. Keely Rich says, I never thought I would land on a sense of community when I was just joining what sounded like a great brokerage from a business standpoint. I did not expect the community aspect of EXP to be so strong and clearly defined. There is somewhere for everyone at EXP, depending on who you are and what matters to you. So just the networking community aspect of it, the live and on-demand training, the mentorship opportunities, the influencer and icon agent groups, there's masterminds, there's networking and collaboration, there's 2 annual events, Shareholder Summit and EXPCon, and there's an Agent Awards Gala. And the group that I'm connected with also has daily training and community and masterminds every morning, Monday to Friday. Not every EXP group that you join has daily mastermind opportunities. Our group does. Monday to Friday, we have mastermind groups available, specialized training on open houses, on your CRM and things like that. And then Curtis and I co-facilitate the Friday call. It's a mindset call. It's more of a coaching call, and we run the Friday call. So just to recap how to choose the right brokerage: lead generation, lead follow-up and marketing. EXP helps you with all those. Professional development, training and technology and skill development. We check all those boxes. And then the mentorship, mastermind, and collaboration, we have that in spades. So I'm going to open up the floor to questions in just a moment. But if you're interested in learning more about EXP, I don't want to take any more time, you can use your phone to use the QR code that will take you directly to my Calendly. If you're using your phone and you don't have that ability, you would go to calendly.com/Coach Debbie Z /30 minutes. That's calendly.com/Coach Debbie Z /30 minutes. Or you can respond to the text. We've been texting back and forth, and I can help get you set up if you'd like to explore more information about EXP. So let's talk about questions and takeaways. What sort of questions or takeaways? If you have questions, happy to answer any question you have right now, or I'd love to hear what your takeaways are. And if you'd like, you can raise your hand and I'll unmute you. If you'd prefer, you can type in the chat.
Good question in the chat, Deb.
The sales agent to have, we talked about that, to have to pay for tools. At EXP, all your technology tools are included in your $85 a month fee. Brokerage is the most important choice. It is. It really is critical, because if you don't get the right training and you don't build the right skills, then you're left to figure it out on your own. Any other takeaways or questions? Happy to answer specific real estate questions if you had them. And for those of you, I recognize we're at 1 minute. Thank you so much for being here. If you have to hop off, I'm willing to stay and answer any questions. Just really appreciate, as you can tell, I'm very passionate about helping agents move forward, which is why I stepped out of production and into coaching, because I love working with agents and helping them grow big, beautiful businesses. Are desk fees and other fees typical of more traditional brokerages? Yes, there's usually a monthly fee plus a desk fee. There may be a technology fee, and there's always, for the franchises, there's also a franchise fee when you have a closing. So you saw that that split is 80-20. If you had a franchise, it might be 70-30 plus a 6% franchise fee that goes directly to the franchise. Because we're not a franchise, there's no additional splits at EXP. Does a licensed sales agent have to have their license associated with a broker to be a referral agent? No, you can join what's called a referral network, and you can send and receive referrals. And then you are not required to be a part of the local board of realtors or the MLS, or part of an office or a brick and mortar office, although many brick and mortar offices have referral departments. However, you also don't have access to the MLS. You can't show buyers property because you don't have access to the e-key and you can't get in. So it's good for sending referrals, but if you have someone you want to work with, that probably wouldn't be the right fit. Training is important. Appreciate these information. Thank you, Lois. Thank you for being here. I'm excited for y'all because we invited quite a few people to be here, and the people that showed up are the ones that are going to be successful. Will the recording be sent out? It actually will be sent out. Thanks for asking, Ms. Shabaria. What sets EXP apart from other online brokerages as Redfin? Redfin is more of a salaried opportunity. It's not as much of it's just a completely different model. EXP was the first brokerage that went virtual and spent all this money for the tools. You know, all of your tools talk to each other. So your website talks to your CRM and it talks to your e-sign company. So they're just completely different models. Any other questions? Well, you have my text. If you have a question, text me. I'm happy to answer any question. There's no dumb questions. You are now the CEO of your business. If you have a question, it's your job to get the answer because you're the CEO. And there is no dumb question. And if anybody makes you feel dumb for asking a question, recognize it's a them problem, not a you problem, because you're the CEO and you're responsible for getting answers to your own questions. So don't sit with a question that you don't have an answer to. Go find the answer or find someone that can help you get that. Thank you all for being here. I'm excited to meet with some of you, and I'm excited to see what y'all do in real estate. I'll talk to y'all soon. Bye-bye.